Okay, see if it connects. See if it works. Everyone check. Go check. Go my chitlins. Go. Let's see.
It shows that there is live, but I
Oh,
can see
there is
it.
a live. There is,
Okay,
it is live,
It's
apparently.
live. Okay. Let me copy paste the link, put it on Discord and use a Z, and we'll get going.
I can see it.
Yeah, I've seen it too. Okay.
I'm probably not going to watch it because that's just going to create an echo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it either. I'm gonna post this on the Discord server and the announcements. Everyone, live just started. Okay.
Post it and
Okay. Use a Z. Confirm. Let me post it there. Okay, post. Okay, so it's up now.
Oh, this should be fun.
Yep. Okay, so I don't know what Eric Cool Guy's doing. I'm gonna ping him, make sure he gets in the call.
Is German Empire Ball going to join, or is he just going to...
No, he's just vibing. He's just vibing.
fair enough.
He's going to be joined. He's just going to be in the chat in the live.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the live chat and see what's going. Okay, so everyone, this is our live stream. I see a few faces, but let's see. Okay, so I'm Conservative Chicken. I'm the one who manages.
Zach.
Oh.
Sorry.
So the one working on Prometheus. You've never seen him around. With a couple mods and hijacked. But well, he muted himself. Now.
yeah.
And we should be muted.
Oh well, Radislav.
So hi, I'm Rados here.
Quick history. Introduce yourself. So.
Yeah, I do alternate history videos of poop holes.
Prometheus. So yeah.
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Introduce yourself.
I am Prometheus.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know when he should be on, but he's not for some reason. He'll probably join later, wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so how should we start this off?
I have no clue.
You're alive. You're alive.
Yeah, well, it's... Okay, you might... but... Okay, he's at a dog park. Yeah. So, first, alternate history, what?
Either one is...
You want to start on alternate history?
I think it would be better to start from there.
Okay, well. So, Radis on right now.
European Federation?
Yes.
So it's... Because it's going to be totally... There's going to be a special ink, for example, letters, hours. What can I say about it?
So how's it coming along, though? Like, is it... Like, how far do you think it's still...
I don't know, maybe 1 month or depends.
Yeah. So, probably a new mod you're working on.
I'm currently just designing the map for it as we are literally speaking right now. I wanted to imagine a world where World War One takes a slightly different turn and much more imperial.
I thought this was a Middle East centric.
Well, I do have that, but
Oh, you're working
I'm
on
letting
different projects.
yeah, I'm working on both.
Oh.
I like
I
to
didn't-
work. What can I say? Yeah, I kind of thought of it last night. And I was like, put it on paper and put it on map, and then see what happens. That's what I was.
So, quick history. Tell us about your book.
I was right. A second American Civil War would have happened. May imply the book it's divided the world into three big lines. I'm the main character, going. I'm only
Yeah. So,
I got the first chapter, more kind of prologue chapters.
okay. Okay.
Just gonna jump. The prologue's gonna explain what happened.
Yeah. So, I personally am working on a other than Liberty Lost, Sinis Romanum, Radical that is doing some of the GFX for it, etc. And I'm doing the coding, and we're working on it, and it's basically, and I've gotten the map down so far, and I've got written, I possibly, but yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah. So, alternate history, and in your opinion, what's your alternate history YouTuber
Mr. Z?
for you, Radisol?
I think.
I personally like What If Altist.
He's good too.
Oh, he's really good.
Yeah, he's really good.
I think alternate history hub.
The only problem with me is he is too on his scenarios. He is very vague. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
he's too broad. Like, if he was more specific, it would be a lot.
He sort of did that with his book, which was nice, but
I didn't read his book.
I did. It's actually quite nice.
Oh. So what's the plot?
Well, of course, it's alternate history. Did what if, built the Atlantropa dams, dystopian future, like a what if?
Mediterranean was drained.
Hmm.
Yeah. Big power in Europe or something.
Gathered because they don't really give you maps, but they and the infinite energy and stuff like that.
Drained. That would make it like a desert.
Yeah, it would basically be in Sahara.
Right. What do you think is the most unrealistic alternate history scenario that you've seen done?
Draka.
Including that one.
Okay then. I guess any Hitler winning.
Yeah.
What?
I wanted to say, I thought, what if Germany restored monarchy? Alternative future than history, but Denmark, just like that, give it up the northern Schleswig. They invaded Poland. They bought the Kaliningrad, Lithuania.
That just sounds like a sweat dream. That doesn't sound realistic.
Yeah.
Realistic is always just if.
Wait. Again? Repeat that. Quick history, we couldn't hear you.
Dang it. Yeah.
You're breaking up.
Dang. All right, wait. Can you hear me if I hold
Hold it closer to your mouth.
over to? That's always my go-to for the fake result.
And
Yes, but you can always in it. But the idea of Germany winning World War II is quite impossible.
I think
I can't.
Sorry, I think this is the best. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, Tino is Vic.
Well, it's a cool scenario still. Like, it makes up for it's just complete over. It was big. I couldn't play it because it played.
I haven't been able to play it,
Not
but
in here. Yeah. But what were we going to say?
it was almost too big to fail, though. So
But we're
wait, what?
you're going to cut in accidentally before I mentioned
Oh.
Thousand Week Reich.
I have an idea for what if Germany won World War One, but like they don't go into Russia. They focus solely on Britain and the Molotov-Ribbentrop pact stands
Comes between the USSR and Germany.
and USA.
Yeah. Interesting scenario.
Well, and I think I have a map somewhere, but I don't know where I put it.
Yeah.
I'll look for that eventually.
So, does Britain like Sir Winston Churchill just not get a war? Or
This change in the scenario, I think just Neville Chamberlain stays in charge for a little. With the distraction of the Union, we're outgunned, we're outnumbered, and no one's taken the pressure off. We have to bombed to oblivion.
Neville Chamberlain, because of how he spent his country time. Like, he appeased Hitler so he could buy the UK some time. So,
But all good things must come to an end. So did peace in our time.
Germany. What if Rome a bit unrealistic, and I have to agree with you on that. But the deal with Rome, you can make it. Rome and China were extremely different. That's what if Alt Tis video basically dove in about. The difference with China, I think, were different ethnicities than China. Is that true, or did China ethnicities?
I think
Under Rome, although I do think it would have survived.
Well, I doubt that. Republic, it was held harder phase than it was in the Republic phase.
True.
Yeah, the Republic phase, like assassination, civil war, councils, dictators, stuff like that. Prometheus, what do you think about the death of Rozhim?
Oh, I'm deeply upset by it.
So how exactly were the team? That's my question.
You know, we lacked coders want the pressure to solely be on you. But the more it came, the vision of the project got strangled. Korn left before you did, artist. Then just that just give it to someone else. This is someone else's burden now and then.
Well, I understand getting same. You let on the project from the get go.
Just gives them the benefit of the doubt. This many criticisms have shaped into something which is I was sorely mistaken.
Yeah, German Empire. It is getting laggy. I don't know why it's. Dadgummit. Okay, I don't want to change Wi-Fi networks either because that will just be a death blow. Dadgummit. So it's getting really laggy really badly. Dadgummit. Oh wait. Okay, it's good. Okay. So I don't understand why you let them on, doing a lot of coding. I in fact found a couple developers to help us with that, but I worry you. So.
I'm happy to. Oh, I'm not happy to say it.
Dadgummit, it's getting really laggy.
This would just be one of those lessons that I clearly need to look at and learn from.
I get what you're saying. Man, should have got work or something. It's
Right.
what we're saying. Quick history.
Automatically. Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it's probably the lag because we're from like all opposite sides of the world. So
Well, no, it's
kinda not really.
it's actually my side because
Ah.
it's I'll show you what the deal is. I'll put a screenshot. Red does not mean good. Red means no bueno. And we're on red and yellow. It's not good.
Oh no.
Yeah. Let me put it. Okay. It's right there. It's in the. That's what we're going off of.
Now we got a stake throat. We'll never surrender.
Yeah. Oh, it's working now. It seems like. Yeah. We got 5 watching, so. Okay. I think it should be time to open up the door for politics. Oh boy.
Here we go.
Oh
Very interesting.
boy. Oh, it's gonna be bad.
This is gonna seem interesting.
Yeah.
Why is my mic?
What?
It keeps automatically muting every time.
Okay.
Capitalism versus Communism podcast edition.
Well, we are all capitalists in here. We know that for sure. We don't know if you're in between, somewhere between a social democrat and a market socialist. We're not for sure though. But
I'm not even certain. I just call myself a social democrat for the simplicity of it all.
yeah. So I saw I saw a couple Q&A questions be put forth. There's one I want to start off with, which is, what is your political ideology, and why are you like? And let me check to make sure what it is. Okay. Let me check to see, double check the question. And then. Okay. Double check. Okay. I'm looking for it. Give me a second. But I think it's like, what is your political ideology? Why? Oh, yeah, it's how long have you lived? What is your current ideology? How long have you believed in your current ideology? And what were your beliefs when you first thought of politics? So, I'll go first, I guess. So, I'm a libertarian. I've been a libertarian for around 3 months or so, I'd say. And I really radically shift towards libertarianism after the January 6th riots. So, and then my first beliefs when I first started politics was I was a hardcore social conservative, and I'm not anymore. So, Prometheus, it's you now.
Well, I've been a social democrat for 6 months, I think. Before I was that, I was a socialist due to me not really understanding it. But then, upon realizing socialism's dictatorial ideas, I found I really enjoyed democracy and I like not having to bend to someone's will. So I became a social democrat. And the reason I think this is because Britain's Conservative Party and others like it have done things less for the people and more for business and things like that.
Well, we'll get to your ideology first. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll get to it. So, Radisol, you're up now.
So I don't follow any ideology. You can classify me as conservative, but conservatism isn't an ideology. It's more you can categorize it in two different ways. You can either call it a philosophy or a political doctrine. I don't know if I got that second one right. So when I started thinking about politics, I was a liberal, and then I slowly shifted towards conservatism.
So, social conservatism, basically.
No, just conservatism.
Are you a monarchist too?
Yes, I am a monarchist.
Are you an absolute semi-constitutional or constitutional?
More towards the constitutional.
What? You're more constitutional?
Yes, but I think that the king shouldn't be limited by the parliament.
Oh, you don't?
The only role of the parliament should be law making.
Right. So you're more semi-constitutional monarch.
Perhaps.
So, quick history, what are you?
I'm somewhere between federalist, classical liberal, or libertarian. They took that word. But I only have been that for a little under 3 years. Before that, I was like a Democrat. And I think the only reason I was because of one of my history teachers had us do daily, like, events. And I was always using CNN, and then somehow I discovered PragerU. And that and then from them people Tim Pool and Steven Crowder, and I generally just got more libertarian.
Right. Well, PragerU is certainly not libertarian, that's for sure.
No, yeah, they made me a Republican, and I was a Republican for probably about a year before I became libertarian.
Okay. Yeah, we all go through.
But they made me right-leaning at all.
Right.
That's what I mean.
We all go through that PragerU phase. So, what topic do you guys want to discuss first? We can talk capitalism versus socialism.
I don't mind.
Okay, chat, what do you think? Oh, no one's typing, I think.
So we can start from the economy.
Right, we can start there, but we can do whatever, I don't care.
Did anyone put anything interesting in the chat to talk about?
No, not really. No. Oh, wait, German Empire Ball did. Absolute monarchism is my political ideology for about 1 year now. He was typing in his thing. Okay. Well, let's just start.
Damn monarchists.
Yeah. Let's start on. Okay, let's talk the most recent debate, gun debate. Okay. What's everyone's political views on it?
I think the man has the right to defend himself. The only people who should be forbidden from owning the gun should be people who have been in jail and people with mental illnesses. But the problem is what type of mental illnesses are you going to forbid from owning the gun?
All right. What do you think, Prometheus?
Well, I am from the land of Britain where they don't even trust us with butter knives. Personally, I don't see the point of having to bear arms, considering when that was written, you had flintlocks and muskets. I think that needs an overhaul, considering now we have machine guns shooting up schools and things like that. Do we need a total infringement on the right to bear arms? No. Do we need greater gun control? Absolutely.
Quick history. What's your opinion?
I love guns. My thing is, if the government can own it, civilians can own it. But I agree with Radoslaw with, if you're a criminal, you can't have it, or mental health, but that's the blurry line. What mental
Wait,
health?
wait. So, by your logic, you just said, wait, this is quick history. I'm no debating. You just said if the government can own it, a civilian can. So, by your logic, does that mean a civilian can control a nuclear bomb just like a governmental body
I think
can?
that would fall under, because technically
Some
they're not
governments.
supposed to use them, and the rules of war stuff is banned. But nations have it, so I kind of fall under if it's banned, and own it. So stuff like nuclear
Well,
bomb.
also, I don't think a government would be able to turn a
Nuclear.
nuclear bomb on its own people. Like, that would just be killing itself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, obviously, like extreme stuff like nuclear bombs, chemical warfare, not stuff like that. But if someone wants to own a tank, they can have a tank. I don't care.
Right. And, yeah, so I was thinking, like, some governments can't have a nuclear bomb, so that's the only exception, I believe. So.
Yeah, except for weapons of mass destruction and stuff like chemical warfare.
Well, what's
I
the
think,
definition of a weapon of mass destruction exactly? Like, it's a really blurry line. People are saying, like, AR-15s are weapons of mass destruction.
No, I'm talking about like stuff that can.
Yeah, guns
destroy
cause
an
mass
entire city.
destruction.
Yeah.
Like things like that. Like
it's a very blurry line. It's a very blurry line.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think the only way that's ever is like how people see it. Some people will see a machine gun as mass. Don't say anything above like the biggest bombs and nuclear bombs as weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
It really just depends on who you are. That's why it's such a hard thing. The law.
I personally think if the government, I agree with Quick History, but unlike Quick History, I think any gun law is an infringement. So, anyways, so how should we start the debate? Like, should we start like quoting data and stuff?
Maybe we should start from the people who are in favor of the no. Damn it. Maybe we should start from the why we want people to own the guns, give some arguments, and then let the others speak.
Okay, well, personally, I think it's a man's right to own a gun, like, and no one should be able to restrict it. I personally think, I'm an originalist. I believe in the original text of the Constitution. And basically, I think if the government can own it, you can own it, because you can be able to overthrow that government and be able to do your thing. And the data says that it won't decrease gun deaths at all. But I can get into that later if y'all want me to. But what do you guys want to do? Radislaw, do you want to go, or Prometheus, do you want to go?
I don't mind because I'm gonna hear you out. And you're
Okay, so I'm going to say that if in 1939 in Poland, if the Jews were allowed to own the guns, the Holocaust wouldn't be so easy. And often people who are against, people who are supporting the gun control, limiting the gun ownership, I think, like, yeah, there are schools, there are mass shootings, and they're saying that there is a bodyguard outside, so people don't, teachers, for example, don't need to own the gun. But if the teachers owned the gun, they could easily take down the shooter, for example.
All right. Well, about the Jew
Right.
deal, I think while it wouldn't have been as easy, it wouldn't stop the Holocaust.
Yeah, the Holocaust would happen anyway, but they would have.
Right.
I don't know. It's better to die on your own
Okay.
terms than
Right.
in a camp.
The Jews
What
were
are-
so
what-
were so lightly populated, they wouldn't have been able to put on a full blown resistance. They would have been able to make a dent. Yeah.
That, and you're gonna give people guns. All right, 1939, Germany's invading. Polish people all of them, have the right to bear arms, like Americans. What is a hunting rifle, for example, going to do against a Panzer? A Panzer II? What is a bunch of militiamen going to do against trained divisions, which is sole purpose is to invade this country with minimal casualties, turn back around and do the exact same to a country that has, two military forces, Britain and France, two military forces inside it, and, still defeats it. So what is a bunch of Polish people with guns going to do against a army which is like 1 million and more strong?
Well, did the Polish people have right to bear arms outside of a hunting rifle and stuff?
No, but I think a lot of them were given guns by the military as they were being invaded. I think they started handing out weapons. But I'd argue that the Polish people did use a lot of rifles, just untrained militia. I remember the story. It was like 25 or 30 postal workers never shot a gun. They were given guns, and a couple cops joined them and trained them how to shoot. And they held back like 2 Wehrmacht divisions for like a week before the whole building was burned down.
Yeah.
I remember, the stories of the French resistance. A lot of that, it was used quite often, where they would simply just shoot farther and then run away, and they caused massive casualties. Obviously, if you go to fight them face to face, you're going to lose, but that's not the point of doing it.
Right.
But that's why I also say, like, civilians should be able to own rocket launchers. In America, in most states, you can own a rocket launcher, you can own a RPG, you can own a functional tank.
I need to get me a RPG.
I just feel that's irresponsible of the government to allow such weaponry, such as an RPG, to fall into people's hands. Like, in America, it's easier to buy a gun than it is to buy a Happy Meal. That is not rumor, that is fact. And there are barely any gun checks. There are barely any checking on if you are mentally ill. So think of it this way. You're allowing a mentally ill person to have the weapon to take down a tank.
Well,
personally, I don't feel that's not safe.
Well, you don't like the Conservative Party, right?
No, I don't.
Okay. What if the Conservative Party?
Wait, to be fair, does anyone like the British Conservative Party?
No.
Well, the people who voted for them clearly do. So.
Right.
I mean, outside
they're
of
as
the UK,
corrupt
no
as
one
the Republicans. They're as corrupt as the pro-Republicans.
Damn right.
But what if the British Conservative Party took overthrew dictatorship, and what would you do to fight them? There'd be no way to fight them because they took all the guns.
This is where I play upon the Free French resistance, where they knew if they attacked directly, they would have reprisals. So they fought in different ways. Paper, pamphlets. They stirred the fire of resistance without necessary need to fire a gun every chance they got.
They killed a ton of people.
I'm not. Yeah, and I'm not saying they didn't, but they also spread the word through radio and things like that.
Right, but radio can only do so much. Like you can't start a resistance.
If the military is against you and you don't have anything, you're pretty much screwed because you're probably not going to convince the military to stop via radio. You can convince the people, but if the people don't have anything to fight with,
that's true. Like, you have to remember that there are countries, like Ireland, for example. Like, if a dictatorship were to take over all of Britain, I doubt Northern Ireland's going to stay in the Union, and that could easily spark a war between a dictatorship Britain and the EU, which could easily mean more European guns could be given to a resistance.
But that's a high chance, and that doesn't look really likely because the EU hasn't done jack in the Russian invasion of Ukraine. They did nothing, and
Is the EU in the European Union?
what I said the EU. They
He
didn't.
meant Ukraine. He meant Ukraine.
Wait, no,
He
is
said
the
they-
Ukraine in the EU?
No, it's
no,
not.
but
It's
not.
nearly
It's not.
went into the EU.
Fair enough.
But it, and this is kind of why the United States is such hard to invade. Like you cannot invade the United States because there's a gun behind every
There's-
blade of grass.
Well, that and, it's got two
Right.
big oceans separating it from any invasion force. Like,
Well-
if Canada tried to invade it, it could easily sweep that. Mexico, done. And essentially, if any members of NATO tried doing it, if they lose Canada and they lose Mexico, any chance of a direct invasion of the United States is off the table.
Right, that's true, but they did the same thing to Russia. Like the Germany blitzkrieg through Russia. And, well, while yes, it is unlikely, you still have a lot of You still have a lot of, I don't know how to put this, but you still have a lot of discouragement to fight because you know there's going to be a lot of guns there. It's going to be hard to control, and you're going to lose. It's
See, I always point to like 3 examples. One is Switzerland, because I think almost as high or if not higher gun ownership rate than the U.S.
right. You
one in
have
every
to own
3
a gun
people.
in Switzerland. You have to own a gun.
Yeah, and they're all mandatorily trained. They all go in the army. They have one of the lowest death rates in the world. They only have like 1 shooting a year, but everyone owns a gun. That plays into it, And criminals often say they don't rob a house with a gun. But the other 2 nations I always point to are Soviet Russia and Imperial Japan. When Russia was getting invaded, they just started arming en masse, giving people who never really shot a weapon, told them how to shoot.
Oh, what's that?
The hell? We're in the middle of a debate and we just have a dog wanting to sniff another dog. What's this?
Okay. Stop. I will just mute. Stop.
Just mute.
I can't. It won't let me.
Okay, I'll be okay. You're good. But
That dog's in the middle of a bone debate between another dog.
yeah, about the right to bear humping or something.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, but he was saying Soviet Russia, yeah, they armed en masse people who never had a gun, and they fought off the Nazis.
But the one thing about Soviet Russia is they did give them some sort of training. I think with Imperial Japan, that was one of the.
Well,
main
Imperial Japan was
reasons-
trained to be a guerrilla force.
Well, no, because the final plan for Japan, if the U.S. invaded, they were
Downfall.
going to give every single civilian either a bamboo spear, a pistol with 8 bullets, or 2 grenades, and tell them to just kill as many people as they could. And that dissuaded the U.S. They, said we're going to take so many casualties, it's not worth it. They didn't want to invade.
Well, also
They didn't
in
have a
term-
very big standing army at that point compared to the U.S. But they. Oh, go ahead.
that kind of completely ignores the point of Imperial Japan was very afraid of the Soviet Union. Like, let's say, hadn't the bomb been made, Japan would have surrendered practically maybe the same time, give or take a few months, because they were scared of Japan, of the Soviet Union, and that's one of the main reasons they invade. Even after taking 2 bombs to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, some were still ready to fight, and they nearly were until the Soviets invaded Manchuria, and then they were just there like, all hope's lost.
Well,
Oh yeah,
that's-
no, I don't doubt that. I'm saying like the U.S. was scared to invade Japan. The U.S. didn't want to invade Japan because they knew how hard every single person in Japan would fight. They were scared that even if they didn't have a military training or they had basic weapons, they would still kill so many people.
The way of the
That's why
samurai.
It's a huge deterrent. Running out with samurai sword.
Yeah. Wait.
Someone needs to
Like-
make a computer.
Why is all I can imagine is an American soldier invading Japan with a Tommy gun, and then you just have like Japanese people in samurai suits with nunchucks just being like, "Come at me."
Someone needs to make a movie about that, please.
Oh, please do.
I want to see that.
Oh yeah, didn't they make that movie Last Samurai? Where
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
that
against,
was
like,
that was
1800
like
weapons.
the fall of the
That was-
shogunate.
yeah, that was the fall of the
Some shit.
shogunate. Yeah.
That was with like muskets, and flame gun.
Okay. Well, you want to end the gun debate and start on another topic?
Sure.
Okay. Prometheus, are you a Republican or a monarchist?
I guess Republican because I don't like monarchies.
Well, you cannot like monarchies, and you can just be neutral. And like, I don't like monarchies, but I won't do anything.
I guess I'll be neutral then.
Well, I mean, I personally distaste monarchies, but I'm not going to do anything. If they're in place already, I'm not going to do anything to remove them. But unless they were absolute monarchies and we overthrew them. But okay, never mind, not that. Okay, let's go to more of a centralized economy before versus a free market economy. So Prometheus, you want to start?
Centralized economy. If we allow it to become too free, it becomes unruly, and it could lead to depression. So I'll go centralized economy.
Well, I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. Keynesian economy versus laissez-faire. Keynesian is a regulated economy. Laissez-faire is complete free market capitalism.
Not laissez-faire then.
Right. You can take the floor for Keynesian.
The reason I say more centralized and not laissez-faire is because if we allowed a total free market, then we can't control like stocks and things like that. It becomes way too free and it becomes way too out of hand. And then it would almost be like if someone were to do something that would destroy all that freedom of a market, let's say, and no, or like the banks fail, what are you gonna do? Because like it's become so unruly, it becomes hard to fix, like a depression.
Well, personally, I believe the economy can regulate itself because from what I've seen, he left. Okay. Oh boy, he left. But it's fine. But I personally believe while the economy does need some regulating, it only needs those in the worst times. Personally,
So like 1929 October when whole Black like Thursday happens.
Sort of.
Would you say that?
Right. I would say we needed a government intervention then, but not in what Herbert Hoover did or FDR did. Both of them did the worst things possible.
At first they did, but I think had Herbert Hoover been given a second term, I do think. Oh, something's just going on Discord. Oh well. I'll check. But the plans were in place for Herbert Hoover to actually do something. Like he ended up having a general plan to revitalize the economy, and well, hang on, let me try and think. FDR, I have seen what his first New Deal did, and it kind of caused a second Great Depression. But as time went on, his Free Deal and stuff like that, Free Deal, New Deal, revitalized the economy and got it ready for war.
Well, I agree with you, sort of. So basically, He extended with his New Deal. He extended the Great Depression by 5 years. And Herbert Hoover, he did not do good. Like people
Oh,
say,
agreed.
people say he was laissez-faire. He was not. He raised taxes. He started tariffs. The only thing he did semi-laissez-faire is refused help, which is not really laissez-faire. You can be laissez-faire and give out sort of safety nets, sort of, but he was not laissez-faire whatsoever. Not one bit. So.
No.
Which I personally think we should have had like a sort of Calvin Coolidge type of guy, one who would give aid, but as well as
Let's take it.
Yeah.
Let's take aid.
Yeah, but not.
I think it. Nothing about. I wonder what would happen. Now this is sort of getting off the politics, but it will only be really quick. I wonder what it would have been like had Calvin Coolidge gone for that third term, because like people speculated, and led the country through the first bit of the Depression.
I think he would have been. I think I wouldn't be. I would have to do more research on it, but I think he would probably be very hands off, which could both. He could give aid, but at the same time he couldn't. I could see him not. I don't know, but he certainly would have led it through a lot, the country a lot better through the Great Depression. Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom.
I also see him.
Radislaw, take it from here.
So we are talking about the Great Depression in United States, yes?
Yeah.
So I'm not too familiar with this subject, but from what
I'm
I
not
know,
100% with it. But...
FDR banned the exchange for gold. So you can't own gold, and you can't exchange the banknotes. What is called in English?
The golden standard. He wanted to get rid of that.
Yeah, but I mean, he banned the ownership of gold and exchanging the paper money for the gold. So that was quite something I would disagree with. That's not something I would support.
So you would like a re-establishment of the golden standard?
Today it would be quite, I don't know, maybe not impossible, but it would be very difficult to return to the gold standard. But I'm supporting the gold standard, to be honest.
Am I fully against the gold standard? I don't believe so. But I do feel, from what we've seen today, with each economy, I feel it could help our economies be fueled by something, because as time goes on, it's kind of been pointed out, like, what is our economies and our money backed by? I feel maybe if a return to the gold standard happened, it would definitely help bring more faith in the economy. But do I think it would totally help? I don't think so.
Yes, and the thing is about the gold standard that it makes the currency more stable, in my opinion. But of course, if a big source of gold would be discovered, the price, of course, would drop.
So what you're arguing is now regulated gold, like trade and standards and stuff like that.
No, I believe in free exchange of gold. I think that the government should introduce some. Wait, I don't remember what it's called. Let me check.
Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Oh shoot! Okay, we have someone in here. Mr. Z's in here.
Oh, that's great.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Mr. Z's in here.
Oh Christ! Hello. Let me check the stream. Jesus. That's unexpected.
Yeah. So, what were you guys arguing about?
We were talking about the gold standard.
I haven't done enough research on the gold standard in order to know what the dealio is.
Yeah, me neither. I just read one book about it. It's called Assurance on the Gold Standard.
So, what was the conclusion to the debate?
Well, we didn't really get to the conclusion. We kind of got to the point where maybe we were entering like a final stage of the what's it called? Debate. And then you just stormed in like, guess who's in the chat?
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's all good.
Okay.
He's got a question. What are your thoughts on free silver?
Radislaw?
Wait, I don't know what free silver is.
We have no idea.
I wasn't expecting this.
Me neither. So, Prometheus, which party do you support in the UK? Labour.
Labour, traditionally, but I have been doing my research. Honestly, the more I look at it and the more I learn, the Labour Party has sort of become outdated. I feel it needs to modernise more.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, it was made back in the 1930s, 20s, and stuff like that. To help with like the unions, have more say in government, and to help, not have like a full capitalist, unfair government.
Alright.
I feel, and as we know, the industrial age is over, and now we're in the modern age, and the Labour Party doesn't really have a say because the unions have become more outdated.
How have they become more outdated? I don't understand because
because they were really made for like the industrial era, back when it was like workers' rights this and stop like the capitalists from giving unfair power and
well,
stuff
that's still apparent here in the U.S. Like in the U.S., our labor unions are so weak, they can't really do much. Like I would really want to abolish the minimum wage and have the labor unions negotiate the wage, but it's really difficult because the labor unions are so weak. It's really difficult.
Syndicalism stares on.
Guys?
Yeah.
Can we return to that silver thing? After we
yes.
about the parties? So if I'm not mistaken, it's about when you use both silver and gold as the backup for the currency. So they are both used at once. So in my opinion, better is to use just one, gold or silver, because the thing is that silver and gold will have different prices. So it's just easier to use one.
Right. I don't know anything about the silver and gold debate, so.
Same. I don't really pay attention to gold. I pay attention to workers' unions and stuff like that.
So what would you have as a different proposal for workers' unions?
What would I have? Instead of having multiple, I'd have maybe one big one with multiple, like
the different sections.
Instead of having like a different, different sections all around the country. Think like the United States, but United Unions.
That sounds like syndicalist. That sounds like a syndicalist state.
I was up late playing Kaiserreich.
Uh,
To be honest, I'm very tired, but
yeah, same here.
maybe just have one big union.
Yeah. Well, the scary part about one big union, though, is they'll be so centralized they can gain more power than both the government, the people, and anyone else. Like, it can get really powerful.
I mean, that is true. And while I like democracy and stuff like that, I want, I want a more powerful worker union, but I want one that isn't as powerful as the combined force of a people. I don't really know how to describe it. I just really want equality. That's it, really.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Socially wise and racial equality. That's what I want.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Mm.
But socially, equality is kind of impossible. It's really up to society to decide because, simply because of if you do make social equality, then you could start a dictatorship. Like that's how the Soviet Union started its dictatorship. Mr. Z, our unions are weak because, like, I've heard one thing in Europe, like they're on strike for like 100 days, while in the U.S. they're like they're on strike for around 100 days out of the year or something. I'm not for sure. I can Google that, make sure, but but in the U.S. it's like something like 30 or something like that. I don't know. I can Google it just to make sure. I can do that real quick. So, how many? You're doing it?
Hmm?
Are you doing it? Prometheus?
Oh no, I was gonna ask him a question, but
Oh, okay.
I'm typing it in the chat.
Let me look. I wasn't able.
There we go. Yeah, that should do. Alright, cool. Oh, personally,
What were you saying?
wait, what was? Yeah, the question I asked Mr. Z, and I guess I'll put it into words now. As a person who watches your channel, you do a lot of things which are much like Kaiserreich and etc. My question is, will you ever do what Alternate History Hub did and cover Kaiserreich or
He already did.
even Führerreich?
He already
Wait,
did.
he did?
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
He did.
I'm not even aware of that. Well,
I'll put it in the chat in our Discord chat.
yeah, this is me showing my level of incompetence right now.
Yeah, he did it, but it's a little outdated. It's in 2017.
Oof.
So
Remaster when?
yeah. Here, you put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Oh, I know why I haven't seen this video. Right. He was banned from the European Union, and despite the fact that Britain is no longer in the European Union, I still can't watch that video.
Use a VPN.
It is banned?
Oh yeah, I should re-get a VPN.
Proton VPN.
Oh yeah, it's banned. God, I hate you.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow, I feel attacked.
You feel the same way, Prometheus?
About
The EU?
what?
About the EU?
About what again?
About the EU.
Oh, sorry.
Do you hate it?
No, I like it.
Oh.
Dear God.
So you two Europeans want to debate this one?
All right, cool. I'll debate it.
Okay.
Yeah, we can try to do it. So
I like the EU because one, it has almost brought peace in Europe, and it is allowing greater cooperation between European countries that hasn't been seen on this level in millennia. Like, it's very hard to explain, but the European Union, you know, it practiced democracy on a continent-wide scale, and you know, some of its rules, like on copyright and stuff like that, and Monsieur Z, are of course unfair, but I feel European-wise, democracy-wise, and just for peace, trade, and prosperity, I think it's all right.
But about that democracy and European Union, actually, if you look at the details how the European Union works, you can see that it's actually anti-democratic. You can even there is a debate on the Oxford Union channel about that. So, for example, let's take the European Parliament. Have you ever seen how that Parliament works? They
Not much.
So there is a vote, but the person who counts the votes doesn't even look at the who raises the hands, who votes. So it's now it's English is quite difficult to explain for me. About that piece, well, when before the EU existed, there was that union of coal and steel. I'm not sure if that was called like that in the English.
Oh yeah,
So
that was like the proto EU. That's what got the ground going on the EU, because they entered like that whole market deal, if I remember correctly, or something along the lines of that.
So that idea was quite good, and it brought peace. Actually, we have to account also the fact that Germany was pacified, if you can call it.
It was neutered by World War II, and you know the common
so
form
they couldn't
and
do
the
so much.
NATO.
So that worked at the beginning, but the thing is that European, so it started to change. It was just hijacked by the Germans. So if you look at the early 20th century Germany, there was that idea of uniting Europe into these Euro. So basically, what Germans will do, they will defeat Russia, establish the satellite states, for example, Poland, Ukraine, Belarus,
United Duchy of the Baltic or something.
Yes, and Lithuania.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the idea to counterbalance the British-dominated world. And the thing is that they failed in the First World War, so they have to, for a moment, give up that idea, just to rebuild the nation as the Weimar Republic. Then the Nazis came, and they brought the ideas of Prussia to extreme. They brought the extreme nationalism based on blood instead of the identity.
Right.
And there was that idea of the Lebensraum, the space of living.
Yeah, living space.
So basically, it was the idea of once again bringing the Europe together. And now, the Germans came to the conclusion that you can't really. They are unable to unite the Europe by the. Wait, they are unable to unite the Europe using the war. So they have to rely on the other things. So they are using now the European Union to bring that idea of united Europe into one singular country. So that's why I'm against it, because you see, I'm nationalist, and creating some sort of empire. It doesn't matter if it's a republic, monarchy, but creating the multinational empire within the Europe, whether it will be the Sacrum Imperium, the Holy Roman Empire, or the European Union, it's always going to be against the nation states.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons why I oppose it.
I think another reason why I'm not like don't get me wrong, I believe in the nation state, but I'm not a nationalist. Like, I'm not pro Germany, I'm not pro Britain, I'm not none of that. But to quote my teacher, you're a nationalist, like you just said. But to quote my history teacher, nationalism leads to wars. Personally, I think we need to put aside nationalism
Well, it
and
depends on what type
come
of
together.
nationalism you're talking about. There are many.
Well, he never really says what type of um nationalism. He literally just says nationalism leads to war. But I
Well,
think when he
the
says that, he's in the terms of patriotic nationalism, like we saw in World War Two and World War One, where it's like, oh, pick up the gun, fight for your country.
the problem about World War II is that everything was brought to radical terms. So if you have the nationalism, for example, the French integral nationalism created by the Charles Maurras,
Hmm.
so it's basically you have the nation state. France, for example, it's led by a king. The nation doesn't it doesn't control the country. Wait, because the nationalism started in the 18th century when the what is it called the French Revolution began. So there was the alliance of nationalists and liberals. So the idea was that there will be no king, and the nation will rule the state by themselves. And it
Right.
evolved into the integral nationalism. So,
Right.
so saying that the nationalism just brings war, it's not nationalism. It's the what it's called the interests of
Patriotism?
a country.
Or
No, because you let's say Prussia. We have Prussia. There's the Prussian nation, and there is this thing called realpolitik, the real politics. So it's basically what it does is you look at what your nation is, what your state is capable of doing, and what is the interest of this nation. And there are many ways of achieving that goal. For example, in the Prussian interests, it's good to unite the Germany, so they have to find a way to do so. If you understand what I say.
Yes, I do. So your idea is that each nation state has its own goals and
Yes.
has to further their own.
Yes, and it doesn't matter if it's the nation states on an empire, because
Right.
every country has its own needs, and there are many ways of achieving that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and by what you just said, I see the European Union as a way to achieve everyone's means at once. I see them, if they unite, they can work together, like, better and more efficiently. They can suit each other's needs. Like, that is what I'm trying to say is, I believe in unity in Europe, and I see the European Union as a way to achieve like a united European state. And I believe that if I think we should have maybe a United States of Europe, and much like the United States, each state is its own thing, governs itself, but answers to that federal authority.
Well-
With that, the federal government can,
well,
send money here, send money there, and send money where it's needed. That's what I'm trying to say is, like, I just think if Europe gets united, it can work better together than it is alone.
well, I will say this. Two things. One, we're going to start beginning to put doing Q&A after this section. So begin putting your questions down in the chat. And secondly, as an American, I could say federal authority is starting to get way out of hand. Like
The overreach.
right, they're overreaching, and that's the problem. Also, the United States has a common language versus the Europe where it has all these different languages, and even with a common language, it took a civil war for us to unite
This is-
fully and stuff, and the government's starting to overreach really badly.
This is kind of what I mean by the whole states thing. Like, each state would be the country, much like Texas, California, and that. Maybe they all speak the same language, but the Californians are in California and Texans in Texas. If, let's say, my idea of a United States of Europe were to be a thing, the French would be in France, a French state in the European Union. Germans would be in Germany, another state in the European Union. They are allowed to move around, but this is what I generally mean by, like, that's kind of how I think to solve the dialect problem in Europe. Have the states be like, here's where a majority Germans speak, here's where most French people speak. Like, it's just hard to explain. I'm tired, so I don't really know how to explain it.
Well, it would be good. The United States of Europe would be sort of good if two things occurred. One, so before the Civil War, the United States weren't referred to as the United States; they were referred to as these United States, and they were centralized under the Civil War. If you kept the system like the United States did pre-Civil War, or kept the Articles of Confederation, something similar to the Articles of Confederation, it could somewhat work. But the government, with the way the government in Europe are working, it most likely end in over federal reach.
Now, I think if you guys kept the Articles of Confederation, these United States wouldn't be a thing.
Right, I'm
You'd
talking
have
about
nation states like
that's
Virginia
what I
and
was
stuff
saying.
like that.
A more reformed Articles of Confederation.
Right.
So you said that the European Union helps to bring about the helping people with getting their goals, yes? Something like that you said. Could you repeat it?
I think if Europe united, they could help each other in achieving their goals. Instead of having to try and do it themselves, they could easily try and they could help each other. Like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And it's like a mutual agreement to be like, if you have something that you need and you have something that I need, boom, trade between each other. And I just found out something in the Chicken's Discord, which kind of made me laugh, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, that's what I mean, like, help each other achieve those goals instead of having to do it yourself. That's where I see nationalism has a problem, because it's like, oh, we'll just do it ourselves. No, just unite and help each other out.
But when you want to put your citizens above your, like, will you, if you were on an island and you had you and one other person, and you guys were competing over the last coconut. Coconut would be, if you had that coconut, you would live. If you did not have that coconut, you would die.
Right.
Wouldn't you put yourself over the other person's life?
No, because
So,
that's not the person I am.
right. I'm glad. Most humans are really, really selfish, and like it's in our nature, and and I think it's best to help yourself first before helping others. And while you should help others, I think you need to help yourself so you can help others. That's why airline tell on your mask first when the thingies drop. That's why they tell you to put your mask on first before you help others put the mask on. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah. I am not the type of person who would do that. For example, like I have mentioned, I think to you, the thing I mentioned, like, there's this transphobic and homophobic child at my school. And a lot of people side with him. Many of them were in my friendship group, but like, the best thing for me to do in that case would be to side with him also, because that means I don't gain or lose anything. But I don't do that because that's not me. I put others before myself.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about but you're going by your views, right?
Right.
So wouldn't that be helping yourself, sort of?
I don't do it to help myself. Like my view is help others
Right.
first, and
I know you
then
were saying, but I'm just
so
saying.
I guess from the viewpoint of an outsider, yes, I'm helping others, which means in my viewpoint I'm helping myself. But in fact, my viewpoint is yes, I'm helping others, but I don't do it for the sole purpose of helping people. Myself even. I help people because they need help, thus just help them.
I get what you're saying. But if
But
you're in a
yeah.
life or death situation, would you put your you before some other dude?
Right, so there's one coconut you said.
Right, one coconut. You eat that coconut, you live or die.
Why not just split it in half? Because coconuts
Well,
are built to crack in half, and one could have one half, one can have the other.
if you did that, both of you would die. I'm just saying a rhetorical, hypothetical question.
And I'm trying to find a way of where cooperation could be had in there, but I would say let the other person have it.
Okay, I know that whenever plane crashes to be on the island with you.
Yeah, by the way, stream's getting laggy.
Yeah, I know. I just saw that.
I've refreshed it. Let's see if that works.
Yeah. It's getting okay. We're starting to get better. Okay, we're good. Yeah, we're fine.
Yay!
But anyways, there aren't any Q&A questions, which I'm sad about. Cause yet I haven't seen any.
We could always just ask each other until someone feels comfortable to be like, put their hand up and ask a question.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Could
look
always do
on
that.
the USSZ real quick to see if there's anything on there.
Ooh, I have a question for
yeah.
Chicken.
Yes, what is it?
What got you into Hoi 4 modding?
Jurnell.
Really?
I'm not joking whatsoever.
Huh.
Not joking. I was into alternate history. I was looking at everything, and Drew Jurnell's Rome mega campaign.
Yeah.
That was his first video I saw. And
What was the first video I saw of his? I think it was like the collaboration between him and
Alex
flipping
Rambler,
Alex the Rambler.
Yeah. Isn't he a Brit?
Yeah, he's also a Brit.
Yeah. What got you into Hoi 4 modding?
I like being creative, and I find it generally relaxing and calming. It also allows my brain to go off and just have fun for a bit. But specifically, why did I get in?
Right.
I had a story, but I didn't really want to tell it through pages like I usually would, and I wanted to have people be able to be like, oh, but what if this happened in the story? So like have branching arcs and stuff like that for them.
Yeah.
Which is mostly why Raz's hymn was so damn insane.
Okay, we got some questions. Do you think there is election fraud even with City Powell's comments?
No.
Yeah, me neither. What about Radislaw?
When the first results were wait, at the beginning, I was thinking that there is a possibility of the fraud, but now I think that it was legitimate, actually.
Yeah, I think it was legitimate as well. But, do you like the Total War franchise? I've
Never played it.
I never played it. What about you, Radislaw?
I don't know what that is, actually.
Nah, from the gameplay I've seen, it looks like a good game, just
Yeah,
not for me.
quick history, Trumpy.
Or was he coming back?
No. He was saying, I don't know. I still think there was fraud.
What do you mean? I'm pretty sure after, January 6th, it can be pretty much confirmed that, flipping, there isn't any voter fraud. It's just a bunch of crazed people wanting, an even more crazed lunatic to stay in office. I'm almost certain that there is no fraud.
Well, I think there was. I wouldn't say fraud. Like the ballots were tampered with, but I will say there was collusion. The Times article was written about how social media companies censored Donald Trump and stuff, and stopped him from winning the election and stuff. And I
that
think,
can be chalked up to a lie because that came later.
What do you mean?
Yeah, they did censor him, but that came after the election.
They added this claim about vaccines is fraud and stuff like that, and they also spent billions trying to debunk him. So, while I do think that was collusion or could be considered fraud, I think that is called legal fraud, if you know what I'm saying.
Or if not for
the
the
type
propaganda,
that don't get you a Nixon situation.
What?
I was saying that if not for the COVID and the propaganda, the Trump would win.
Oh yeah, Trump would have won. Oh yeah, he would have won no matter what. I think COVID was the only thing stopping him.
I think it could have come close.
I disagree. It came close with Biden. Like he only won by a couple. He only lost by a couple 100,000 votes. It was pretty close.
Sure.
German Empire Ball asked, "What do you guys think of Dr. Ludwig, the YouTuber?"
Never heard of him.
Never heard of him as well. Never heard of him.
Well, I've seen his channel and I was on his Discord actually.
Oh, he was? You were?
Yeah, he seems to be a nice guy. He's from Bavaria. He's a Catholic.
He's Catholic.
Damn it. Yes, Catholic.
You're Catholic, Radislaw?
Yes, I am.
I have a question.
Oh, what?
Lost Liberty. What are your
Liberty Lost.
future plans for after it comes out? Or yeah, Liberty Lost.
I want us to do this is far in the future, but I'm hoping I do I'm gonna come out with updates with focus trees and stuff. I'm gonna get new focus trees I'm gonna go to each specific area, get new focuses, build off of that. I'm gonna probably start with I'm gonna get Middle East focuses done, and then I'm gonna go to Intermarium, and I'll know after that.
More instability in the Middle East. More.
Well, with Britain invading Jordan, I don't think that's possible.
It's always possible. Just add a few nukes. That should work.
Radislaw, you got any questions? Or no? Yep.
Really?
What?
I say I don't have any questions.
Okay.
I don't even know about what to ask.
Same here. So is the majority of Poland like Catholic or is it Orthodox?
wait, how to explain that? 90% of people were baptized, 30% go to the church, 9% understand the religion. So Poland is Catholic by the culture, not by the faith, to be honest.
Yeah. It's similar to Jews, right? Like in Poland, it's Catholic. Like it's similar how Judaism is in Israel, like the Catholic Church is to Poland. You there, Radislav?
Yeah, I hear.
Okay. I was asking a question. Anyways, you got more questions, Prometheus?
Since Romanum, I don't know if that's how you say it.
Sinus Romanum.
Since I'll never get used to that. Are you any detailed lore? Would you say?
Basically, think Greek Napoleon in 1300. That's all I can give out.
Well, I'm aware of what you said on the Discord,
Yeah.
like the whole crisis, like the 14th century crisis. I don't know if that's it.
Oh, quick history's back. But it was a crisis of the 3rd century, and that does not occur, so Europe stays Latinized. So, quick history. You there?
Yeah.
You got any questions? Because we're about to end the stream soon.
No, I mostly put him in chat earlier.
Yeah.
Except, are we gonna do this again sometime?
Yeah, sometime. Yeah, we should.
Yeah, this is fun.
Hopefully, we got more people in the thing. Hopefully, for some reason, Air Cool Guy didn't show up. I don't know why he didn't. But
maybe if we actually start putting out
what
regularly and get some subscribers, someone will actually.
Well, we got plenty of people watching this. But
Yeah, we got like 8.
I have like 14 subscribers, and that's it. So I don't know if I'm any help in that situation, trying to get more people to watch.
I have over 100. I'm not a single person showed.
Oh wait, you did a stream?
No, I posted on my show up today. Out of 100 people, no. A couple are my own.
I remember that one time where Prometheus was on his stream and no one showed up.
The depression. The depression.
Yeah. I watched the stream afterwards and I was like, oh, rest in peace.
Well, hey, if you have no viewers and if you did it on Twitch, maybe Mr. Beast would have given you $10,000.
Hey, I was actually considering putting it on Twitch too, but I didn't want to set up a Twitch account yet.
I'm not in the mood for trying to do the Twitch grind. I have things I need to do.
Yeah, same here. Anyways.
School.
Okay. We got one last question. This is our last one. So, thoughts of What If Alt Hist and better or worse than Mr. Z?
Is he still watching?
Who?
Mr. Z.
I think he's gone.
Alright, personally I prefer Mr. What's it? What's yeah.
I like Mr. Z's videos. I think some of them are really good. Like, I haven't been able to watch his 7 Ages of America video, but I heard it's pretty good. Like, his only deal is he sometimes gets into modern politics too much. If he stayed out of modern politics, he'd do really well. So,
I tend to like you better because with what I feel like a lot of his prediction videos, especially about the future, he just gets so crazy.
Well, I mean, he has a point, sort of.
Yeah, he definitely has points. But I feel like a lot of his stuff is very outlandish, like very out there.
Well, his
And I watch them both. I watch like everything they both do. Either way, I like them both.
Like are you not convinced by the Neo-Not Ottoman Empire? Like, or the East African Federation? Are you not convinced by that?
That's probably like the one thing I do believe the East African Federation form.
Yeah.
I really want it to. I just want a map change for once.
Yeah.
Just something.
Right. I personally like What If All Hist. His videos are really good, and he's a classical liberal, so I like him. And
His quality.
what?
His qualities in his videos.
Yeah, his quality's pretty good. The only thing he can improve on probably is his whatchamacallit, is his map making, and that's it. But it's getting better. But anyways, I think that's it. So I'm gonna end the stream. For everyone who is watching, thank you for being on with us and hanging out and stuff. Thank y'all.
And now you all have to go subscribe to my channel.
Yeah. Subscribe to Quick History. Subscribe to Quick History. I'll put in everyone's names in the chat. Quick History. And
I'd call myself the only Prometheus.
Okay, I'll edit that.
For mine, you're probably not gonna find quick history because like everyone's videos called history. Just put in quick history. Still
sort by channel.
There's a sort by channel on YouTube. What?
There's a sort by channel. Yeah.
When did that happen?
It's always been there. It's always been there.
Never knew that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Radislav's channel is Action Police, which I don't know.
It's
I might be
Polonais.
making a video soon.
What?
I might make a video soon just to be
Okay, Action
fun
Police,
because I'm bored.
and then my channel. You're watching it, so you don't need it. And then German Empire Ball has been in the chat, and Air Cool Guy has been in the chat. I don't think he has, but anyways. Well, that's it, I guess. I'm going to end the stream.